Joining us now is Khalil Anani. He's a senior fellow at the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C., and he's also the author of a book on the Muslim Brotherhood and joins us now live from the Egyptian capital, Cairo. Thank you very much for being on Al Jazeera, Khalil. So everyone is waiting to see what the army's next move is going to be in the next few hours. What do you think the generals are thinking right now? Are they ready to come out of the shadows, you think?
Well, I think the army now is trying to impose their roadmap on both sides, particularly on President Morsi. I think we just have only 4 hours from now that the military has to come out by a solution. But this solution would not be accepted by President Morsi, which made it very clear last night in his speech that this is a civilian conflict and the army should stay away from this conflict. Second, he said that any solution should follow the roadmap that he drew last night, which includes forming a coalition government. Second, forming a committee that can revise and amend the constitution. Third, calling for parliamentary elections. And four is to change the regional prosecutor. So I think now we are heading towards a showdown and face-off between the army and between President Morsi.
A showdown, you say, but nonetheless, the military and the Muslim Brotherhood have had a history of striking temporary alliances in Egypt. Is that still possible today, or do you think the window of opportunity for offering concessions on all sides is over?
Well, the thing is that when I spoke with some of sources within the presidency and some of the Brotherhood senior leaders, they told me that they feel bitterness from the army that is playing a very biased role with the opposition, and they think that the army is not neutral in this crisis. That's why there is a lot of mistrust between the Brotherhood now and between the army, although they had some bargains in the past. Now the question is to what extent the Brotherhood can accept any roadmap the army might offer.
You know the Muslim Brotherhood very well. You've written about them. A spokesman for the Muslim Brotherhood has said the Brotherhood is willing to act as a human shield to stop a military coup. But surely the Muslim Brotherhood must be thinking about a contingency plan if their man, Mohamed Morsi, isn't able to hold on to power. They struggled for 80 years to govern Egypt. Surely they must have a backup plan.
Absolutely. I would say the only back plan that they have now is to stay in the street until this showdown come to an end. I think now for them, Morsi is a red line. As you correctly said, that they waited for 80 years to get to take power, and now this is the time to maintain this power as long as they can. So the Brotherhood believes that if President Morsi steps down, this might lead to some kind of disunity and disorganization within their structure. So they would like to save the organization, but this might come at the expense of the unity of the country itself.
Okay. And, you know, we often hear President Morsi talking about remnants of the old regime who are behind this crisis. How much weight is there to that, you think?
Well, I mean, let's be clear here that we are talking about mainly four forces in this crisis. First, we are talking about the Brotherhood and the President Morsi. Second, we are talking about the military. Third, we are talking about the opposition. Fourth, we are talking about the remnants of the old regime that they are playing, to some extent, a crucial role in pushing the country to some kind of fight and tension. So we cannot ignore any of these factions in the current crisis. But the thing is, now there is a lot of calls for President Morsi to step down on one hand. On the other hand, President Morsi and his supporters believe that they have the legitimacy and they came by the ballot box and they should go by the ballot box or through democratization.
Khalil, just one last question for you. Do you think this will be resolved on the streets through violence, or is there too much at stake right now and we might see concession from all sides?
Well, I don't think that this showdown will end without a high level of violence. So far, we witnessed last night at least 16 people were died from supporters of President Morsi, and at least 200 were wounded. So I think both sides, they count on time, and to what extent the other side might give concessions. But this would be at the expense of many lives, unfortunately.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Khalil. Thanks for your thoughts. That's Khalil Anani, Senior Fellow at the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C., joining us there from Cairo.